Remember that Jesus had said to Martha after Lazarus had died, "I am the resurrection and the life." And so they wait, no doubt with bated breath, for an answer. Have they caught him out? I'm sure there were some standing there who believed that they had. However, along with his many other human skills, Jesus was a skilled debater. After all, he'd been doing that since he was 12 years of age. And he quickly slides out the trap that they've been trying to set for him. Your mistake, he seems to say to them, is to assume that present-day customs like marriage will also extend into the coming age of resurrection. But on the contrary, in that age, people will neither marry nor be given in marriage. So essentially, what Jesus has just said to them is, whoever told you that marriage would be part of the resurrection life? The Sadducees had made the assumption that life in this world would be pretty much the same as life in the next world. But no one had ever said that, least of all Jesus. And so much for a gotcha question. Jesus, however, is not finished with the Sadducees. They had mentioned Moses. So now Jesus points out to them that in the account of the burning bush, even Moses showed that the dead rise by referring to God as the God of Abram, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, implying that in God's eyes they are still alive and living their resurrected lives. If one looks at the actual text of the book of Exodus, one will read that God says, "I am the God of Abram, Isaac, and Jacob." If, however, these patriarchs were dead, Jesus implies that God would have said, "I was the God." Therefore, they must still be alive to God. I have noticed that some commentators are not altogether impressed with this debating point of Jesus, being based as it is on grammar and tenses rather than logic. But be that as it may, the teachers of our law sitting around him were impressed, and they paid Jesus a rare compliment, saying, "Well said, teacher." And after that, according to the gospel, nobody else wanted to challenge Jesus.